Hello and welcome to I'm Every Woman TV. I'm your host, Janette Burke, and I'm delighted to have tea with you and myself and certified sommelier Ingrid Folkers, who's with us today. Tea, high tea, afternoon tea is a very beautiful experience to only be shared in the most memorable way. And as you can see, we're all set up for a wonderful tea party. So I hope that you'll grab a little cup of tea yourself and listen in after the break as we talk to you about what the whole experience of high tea is and how you can participate in a high tea to support the charity Soroptimist York Region, which is an international organization, Soroptimist, but they have a chapter in York Region, and they're having a wonderful charity tea on June 3rd at the Ballantrae Golf and Country Club. We'll tell you a little bit more about how you can attend. Then on the second segment of the show, for all you fempreneurs out there who are juggling so many tasks, roles, and responsibilities, and trying to keep your business going so that you can have the lifestyle and the business you desire, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how you can start improving your business results by up-leveling your mindset, your schedule, and your income so that you can have that growth regardless of what stage of the business you're in. I hope you'll stay with me on I'm Every Woman, and we'll be right back after this few-minute short break. Welcome back to I'm Every Woman. I'm your host, Janette Burke, and we're going to have a lovely tea party today with Ingrid Folkers and yourself and I, all here, all dressed up, ready to enjoy. So welcome, Ingrid.
Thank you, Janette, for having me. This is very
exciting. Welcome. I'm so happy to be doing this with you. Ingrid, you're a certified tea sommelier.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean?
What it means is that I probably know a little bit more about tea than the average person. I went to school for it, namely George Brown, and then also in association with the Tea Association of Canada. I passed some exams and an industry exam, and over a period of 2 years, I learned how to become a tea sommelier, which meant you learn a lot. You find out that there's more than just one or two black teas or the odd white or green tea. You go all over the world. You go to Japan. You learn about the teas of China, Africa, India, Sri Lanka, in depth. What it means, how to grow a tea, where tea comes from, how it's processed, what to look out for, what is a good leaf, how to properly steep a tea. Not all tea is steeped the same way, and not all tea is good. And foremost, my biggest education in the beginning is what is tea? Because we call tea just about anything that's a hot beverage that has some kind of flower or leaf or herb in it. And for myself and for the industry, tea is only if it is produced and harvested and plucked from the tea bush or the plant called Camellia sinensis. And I think that explains already a lot.
Yes, it does. Sounds like quite a learning you've gone through. And I know that that's an extension to you already being a certified chef and other things going on. So may I ask you, why did you choose to become a certified tea sommelier?
I kind of slid into this by accident. I always kept tabs with what's going on in the hospitality industry, being a chef trained in Europe. And I never really had the chance to practice that craft here. But I always wanted to keep in touch with it, just in case one day. And so I have been a part-time student with George Brown, the chef school, for many, many years. And they just offered one day a workshop and then ultimately some courses. And I thought, oh, well, let me find out, being born in Austria and being a coffee drinker and just having been brought up by chamomile tea, I wanted to find out a little bit more about what tea is all about. And I was fascinated by it. I fell in love especially with the China teas. And I'm just so happy that some of my fellow tea sommeliers have been able to go to the harvest in China this April, and they are back. And so I can hardly wait to meet up with them to taste the new teas.
Sounds very exciting. Now, your fascination, I think, has become a nationwide fascination. Everybody seems to be so fascinated now with this whole concept of high tea, also known as afternoon tea. Mm-hmm. And it is so beautiful. And I mean, just look at the preparations here. They're just so beautiful. What do you attribute this fascination to? Why have we all become so fascinated with that?
I think people always all over the world love to drink tea. And it's actually the number 2 beverage in the world after water. Many people don't really realize that. Mm-hmm. But I think over the time, especially the last 8 or 10 years, I think the health industry has played a major role in that, because they kind of found out that tea has very healthy properties. And of course, if somebody, Dr. Oz, Oprah, like all of these famous people that all of a sudden love to drink tea, and Britney Spears, and things like that, people catch on. It's something, people will follow, people that they admire or listen to. And it wasn't any different how the whole thing started with tea in England, because
that's my next question.
Yeah, so I mean, it was all about high society doing it and then having the trickle-down effect to the average populace. And who would have known that in 1600, when Catherine of Braganza married Charles II and brought over her tea chest and started this sort of kind of tradition within the court, and then Queen Victoria herself, loving the leaf from China, and her lady-in-waiting, Anne, who is accredited roughly around 1830, 1840, with the creator of the afternoon tea ritual. So, I mean, it's always following a trend. And I think drinking tea is a trend, but I think it's backed up with science, and it's backed up with medical science. There is so much going on in research to find out that this leaf, Camellia sinensis, who 5,000 years ago started as an herbal and as a medicine, now again has has attributes of medical properties and well-being.
And I think also, if I may cut in for a moment, is that I think it's the experience, the whole experience of the high tea, because we live in such a complicated world that's so full of technology, and we're always so drained. And being able to go to high tea with our friends and family is a way of allowing us to relax, cut loose, pardon the pun on the tea.
It's true.
And,
it's true.
And just, you know, experience something that is very relaxing, very enjoyable. It's not your everyday event.
It is not, but for some people it is, right?
Yes, it's true. Well, I know it's very, very popular. And before we get into more details about it, I would just like you to quickly tell me the differences between high afternoon tea or cream tea, because there's the variations of the tea.
Yeah, I think over time things get a little bit muddled. And when people talk about high tea, and if they were to go to England wanting to have high tea, they probably would be very disappointed, because it is not what you expect it to be. So what people usually mean is an afternoon tea. And what you see here, this is the setting of an afternoon tea. But you also might have experienced going to some establishment and you would have been served this and they would have called it a high tea. So there's a little bit of a misunderstanding, but if we're really truly talking about a high tea, we're really talking about an evening meal. And it has very little to do with crumpets and sandwiches. It has to do with meat and potatoes. And of course, yes, there will be sweets and tea served as well. Now, afternoon tea traditionally is served between 2 and 4 in the afternoon, and consists traditional 3 courses. So usually you have the scones on the top tier. I ran out a little space, so I put one of the sweets up there as well. The second tray usually has your sweets, and the bottom tray usually has your savories. And when you do a tea, it's usually 4 to 5 finger sandwiches a person. Myself, I like to have different varieties all the time. So if I serve 5 finger sandwiches a person, it will be 5 different types. And this is really what I have here as well. And then, of course, you have your tea. And depending on what your favorite is, most traditionally, it would be an afternoon tea, an Earl Grey, or anything like that. Myself, today, I brought a different kind of tea.
Did you bring
I brought an early black Yunnan Gold.
Oh, that's
so,
one of my favorites. How did you know?
So I thought, go back to the Chinese roots. This would have been a tea that probably Queen Victoria would have drunk, and ultimately later on, when India had their own tea production, they would have changed what kind of leaves they used, and they also would have changed how they prepared it. And so if you want to taste it, I'll be happy to pour it.
Now,
and,
I know normally we use a strainer, and in America they use the bags.
Yes, no, this tea has been
lovely.
steeped. This tea has been steeped from loose leaves. I did not use a bag. I strained it already for you.
Thank you.
I favor the loose leaf. Other people favor the bag. I think it's a real good convenience, and there's some lovely bag teas out there. I just find that with the loose leaf, you have a huge gamut. Like, there's so much more out there for you to try. But if you have a sip with this one, I always like to have my guests sip it without milk and sugar first to give it the taste.
And sipping is part of the tea etiquette.
It's part of the tea etiquette.
As is putting your napkin on your
Absolutely. We should all do that,
lap.
right? And you should smell it too. And
oh, it's beautiful. It smells beautiful.
yes, and it
tastes lovely.
And I like the color. Like the color is this gold amber.
It's so pretty.
It has the body of a black tea, but it has a little bit like, do you taste the apricots?
Yes,
a little bit
I
through
do.
it.
I do.
It's
a very nice flavor to that tea. So I want to move on just a little bit, because I know that you're here to talk about your involvement with the Seropatist York region, which it's an international organization. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit more about the organization and the high tea that you're having on the 3rd?
I am a passionate Seroptimist. Seroptimist International is an organization of business women and professional women who work on a local level, on a Canada-wide level, and international level with women and girls. to improve their lot in life, whether it is through mentoring or education. And we work on a communal basis, and we give financial support. We also work in a greater realm of Canada and the United States, and of course international. We are about 90 years old now. We are in about 120 countries and territories worldwide. Our head office is in Cambridge, and for the international organization. And we also, and this is something that we are very proud of, is that we have consultative status with the Economic and Social Council at the UN. And we are recognized as a recognized authority to help them with women's issue.
Wow.
And I think that is very, very important, because we do globally, we do tremendous work. My own club, Soroptimist York Region, is a very young club. We've only been around for about 4 years. And for the 3 years that I have been involved, we annually have been holding a huge fundraiser to help, and that is the tea.
Coming we do on June 3rd.
June 3rd.
At the Ballantrae Golf and Country Club.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about that and how one can participate in it, because I know that you're going to have a table there, correct?
Well, myself, I'm in the kitchen because I provide the food.
Oh, okay.
But
so you
all
get
the
to taste some of this and see some of this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But people can get in touch with us by either going on siyorkregion.ca. We
so
also
siyorkregion.ca. Yes.
And then get in touch with one of the Soroptimists there. They can get in touch with myself by calling me or by sending me an email.
So let's have your phone number.
Okay, it would be 416-508-6249 or toccasions@gmail.com, or to get in touch with the fundraising committee, and you can get a hold of them. And the lady's name is Corinne, and her phone number is 905-773-9911 to receive a ticket. The idea is that people get together with their friends and form a table of 8, or people that just want to have single tables, like you are my guest, so you will be seated at one of my guests. But most of the Soroptimists, they invite their friends and family, and people out there that maybe want to find out a little bit more about us. Anyway, we also have a Facebook page, and so you could link into our Facebook page and also our events page.
So, and just by looking up Soroptimist International York Region.
Just go to Soroptimist International
Third
York Region.
Annual Tea, January 3rd on Facebook. And
absolutely.
And the tickets are, how much are the tickets?
We're selling the invitations for $40.
Oh,
and
and that's quite a value, because I've had tea in every hotel in the city, plus at your place, which was excellent.
Yes.
And I want to say that high tea, a really good afternoon high tea, can run you easily $80 or more, depending on what's being served. And I know there's a variation of what can be served. Yes. So $40 to get a lovely tea, and you're going to help other women is it's a steal.
Yeah, especially with us, because we're so involved locally. And I think that's one of the reasons why I got involved with Soroptimist. I wanted to find a niche where I could give back, and it just kind of falls within what I believe, to help women and young girls and to be locally involved. So for the past 2 years, all the fundraising efforts that we have done is benefiting the new trauma center in Sharon. We put in a Serenity and Therapy Garden, and we're helping 8 women to go through therapy that there's no funding available for them, so we actually fund them. So I think we really make an impact. We also have worked with some of the other shelters, and we take on big issues like human trafficking and all kinds of stuff. It is a really valuable organization, and if there is anybody out there that is a professional woman who would like to get involved in our cause, please do give us a call. We are always looking for members. We are a small club, we are a young club, and we would like to do more in your region.
And I would like to just get back to a little bit about the tea part and let people know what they can expect. So I wanted to ask you, like, the tea itself, how do you go about preparing it, whether it's at your place or whether it's at somebody else's place?
There's prep done ahead of time. I work out of a commercial kitchen for the preparation, and sometimes I invite good friends of mine to help me with that. I have volunteers that help me. The club itself is responsible for the table settings. Myself, I'm responsible for the food and the tea, and part of what I do also is I pair different types of teas with the food that I'm offering, so people also get an education, which is really what a tea sommelier does. Okay. And this is why I gave you a certificate for that.
Great. Yes, we do have a giveaway to the first viewer to email me at Janette@yourmarketingmagnet.com for a tea sampling for 4 with Ingrid at your house or hers, and it's worth $100, and it needs to be used up by this August. So you have a few months to use it.
So it's good for June, July, and August, and I purposely put this date on it is because I want to do the sampling and the tasting of the new 2012 spring teas, which are just coming in. So I needed to give this a kind of deadline.
Okay, so quickly, because we only have a few more minutes, I just wanted to bring out that, high tea is a beautiful occasion. A lot of people do it for bridal showers, for birthdays, for corporate events. You do it all. Yes, I do. And also that men do attend high tea. It's not just for women, even though it can be considered the ultimate girls' day out.
Absolutely.
And so to do that, they can visit your page at teaoccasions.com. And you can have a wonderful event, a different event, either at Ingrid's beautiful home, and she'll do it up as beautifully as
but I think what makes me unique, what
makes
me unique is that I come into your home. And I think that is a service that not many people provide.
That's true.
And it makes it very intimate, and it gives you the chance to dig out your grandmother's old china in lace and silver. And it's one of the times where you can really show off what you usually don't use every day.
And that's true. It's very special, and it makes it different than going out to a high tea at a hotel or a tea room. One last comment I wanted to squeeze in is that there's a whole attire one should wear to tea.
Yes.
And I'm sure we're going to experience this on June 3rd at the Ballantree Golf and Country Club, where we attend the high tea for the
we are absolutely we're encouraging everybody who attends to also wear a hat or a fascinator. I mean, that's all coming from last year's wedding. And we are going to have a contest, so so there will be prizes given out.
Yeah, that's good, because in my research, I understand that in the Victorian era, and as it moved into the United States, the whole thing about tea was that you could have a varied menu. You could also have games, like contests or blind man's bluff, or
it was a social gathering, and
whatever
was a family tradition. That's what I love about the tea, because you can make it and tailor make it to what your tradition is. In a very calm and elegant atmosphere.
And also, in my research, I found out that when women go to tea, they're supposed to dress for tea. So I dressed for tea today.
Yes, very lovely too.
Thank you. And one of the key parts of the dress is to wear a pair of very special shoes that you don't normally wear every day. So I did that too. I brought out my special shoes.
Oh, yes, you have.
And I think it's all part of the fun, and whatever the occasion, I think it's a great thing. I want to thank you for bringing everything in. Doesn't it look beautiful, ladies? It's a special event. I look forward to seeing you with Ingrid and myself at the Ballantree Golf and Country Club on June 3rd to support the Soroptimist International York region. I know it's going to be outstanding, because I know Ingrid, and Ingrid does amazing things.
Thank you, Janette.
Very special things. So one more time, teaoccasions.com is your website, and to get tickets for the event on June 3rd, the Soroptimist International York Region Tea event, please visit siyorkregion.ca, or see they have a fan page on Facebook. You just look up Soroptimist International York Region, and it'll come up. Ingrid, please tell me again how to get in touch with you, your phone and your email.
My email is teaoccasion@gmail.com. My phone is 416-508-6249, or Corinne 905-773-9911.
And I want to thank you for being a guest on my show. It's a beautiful experience. I know we're just giving you a hint of it, but ladies, look how special, look how pretty. It's something you have to do it at least once in your life. It's an experience you cannot miss. And we have to wrap up. I'm sorry. I just want to also mention again that we do have a giveaway today from Ingrid, a tea tasting for 4 that could be in your home or in Ingrid's, and it's worth $100, and it has to be used by the end of August. That's this August. So again, feel free to contact me to get this at Janette, Janette, at yourmarketingmagnet.com. Now we have to go to break, and I've been eyeing those sandwiches. Looking forward to tasting it, and please stay with us, ladies. We'll be right back with the Magnetic Marketing Moment, which is a very special one today, talking about how you can start improving your business results and up-leveling yourself on 3 different levels: your mindset, your income, and your schedule. So please stay with me. We'll be right back after a very short break. Thank you. Thank you, Ingrid.